What's the difference between these two?
One is this is under 15 hours, and this is finishing.
Oh, it's cold.
Huh? To make it in 15, you get the black one.
You get the black one, do you?
Oh, yeah.
To make it in 15, you get the black one. Longer than 15, you get the gold. That's what I read. You ready?
Not bad. Not bad.
About the stupid t-shirts and taking the pictures.
And I had my camera on post.
Everybody down and grab the teachers.
Did you hear her crying because the dogs?
Look, dude, that's America right there. Even though that's a vulture, all I can think is a bald eagle. Just so cool. Who was that? I don't want to get in front of anybody.
Hey, you come here, please.
No, I never wear this. They're pretty cool. They also have hoodies though. Hoodies do kind of awesome.
Anyways, for 100 kilometers, I don't know what they do for 50. Give you a handshake, I think.
Yeah. Something different.
Oh, you can hang her up there.
It's always good. You don't want to be overtrained. Never. Yeah, you never want to do that. It always be worse.
Yeah, I think so. So just alternating. Well, these are different years, but
I think it's just an hour thing. Like if you get under a certain hour, you get.
60 degrees of beauty.
I think if you get under 16 hours,
you get
and then
one.
I don't know what this is.
It does say, there was something I read online.
Let's finish under 16 hours.
What's your goal?
This is cool how they did it.
Here, you want to stand right here?
I guess, Harper? Hey, look right here.
That's right here. Okay, jump down. Can you jump? You can. Oh, yeah. I'll try that again. No. One more time. This is for the winner. This is from third place, and second place, and fourth place. Okay, one more time so other people can get their picture. Jump. Jump. Good job.
Just the instructions, yeah.
Different arms.
Let's get it. There's over there. This movie. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it's going.
Yeah, I think I'm walking back down.
No, I took a picture of the dog. Yeah, the dog.
So everyone gets one of these depending on their time.
Yeah.
Over 15 minutes.
Okay. I'm looking forward to getting it this year, man. I'm telling him, I'm like, the missioner. You cross that finish line. Mission's gonna get a lot better. So. I mean, in the ring, big shot.
The best start finish. All of them. Yeah?
Can you play with me?
Yeah, in a few minutes. James is in like
Mom? Can you play with
Wait, James, where's Michael?
I didn't.
Okay, so
We'll drop them off in August and then come back to some solo time.
Isabel. Oh, look, a dog. Oh.
Right back. You got to put it down.
Totally didn't even see it.
He said, I see you. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. sometimes get a shirt.
Are they cotton or are they?
I am ready.
All right, everybody. Everybody come in. Come on in. There you go. Closer's better, then you can hear me. If you ask me questions, I can hear what you're saying, all that. Everybody good? All right, well, welcome to a little bit of paradise on top of Skylark. And first of all, give yourselves a round of applause. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate everybody getting here today. So I'm Gil. I'm your hopefully friendly race director all day tomorrow. Francesca, she's the brains of all this. So she and I, we put this thing together. Bill, we've been a passion project now for going almost 10 years. The race is 8 or 9 years old, but we had this idea a long time before that we really needed a day every year where we're kind of celebrating some of the achievements of people that keep pushing the sport forward, but keeping it inclusive to everyone. And we both had opportunities to be involved in some championship races, different things around the world, and the thing that was unique was a lot of those are very inclusive, and you don't get to really meet some of those athletes. You go to the Burton Snowboarding Championships and they're not going to let you strap on your sled that day and go snowboard. But this is a real cool opportunity to get to run a beautiful course that's designed really to test a lot of different strengths, whether you love to run roads or hate roads, or you love trails or you hate trails, or you love to climb or you hate to climb. That's all going to happen tomorrow, I promise you. So that's always a lot of fun. So we've had everybody from literally the world 100K road champion from China to people who won hard rock and record times run this race, and so it's a little bit of everything. So Uroc is a lot of fun. It's something we really enjoy doing. But as you can imagine, most importantly, it all starts with a great venue. And we were very fortunate now, going on 3 or 4 years ago, to be introduced to the person I'm going to introduce you to next, who actually owns this. It's his home, or one of his homes, and this has become a real passion of his. So we had an opportunity, as we were seeking to bring the race back to the east, to really find out where would we most want to go. And Francesca and I spend a lot of time here on the East Coast throughout the year, and we're familiar with this area. And we've always seen this property, but we never knew the history behind it. And once we found out who owned it, we just sent an email. And the next thing you know, he was a really cool guy. And he's like, you want to do that? What? At my house? That kind of thing. So without further ado, I want to get a big round of applause and introduce you to Craig Kohlberg, who owns Skylark. So Craig's going to tell you a little bit about the history, then he's going to tell you about what's happened the last 12 months and what's going to happen, after that. And you'll definitely want to come back and bring your friends and family, get married, renew your vows at this place. But he'll give you a little bit of background.
Well, I'd be happy to. It's been a pleasure actually to have Gil and Francesca as friends now for 3 or 4 years too. They're really the inspiration behind pretty much everything that's going on here, and Francesca's also the beauty behind it, not just the brains.
Please.
So yeah, no, absolutely. I wish my wife was here right now too, but she'll be here in a couple of hours. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is a place that for a long time was owned by Washington and Lee University from Lexington, Virginia, only 30 minutes away. Came up, they had owned it for 35 years. They were actually gifted it by a family from Richmond before them. Came up for sale about 8 or 9 years ago. My wife and I were in a good place to buy it at that time, so we stepped up and didn't really know what we were going to do with it. So it's really been an evolving sort of process over the last few years. It's been a lot of fun. I have to tell you, I love it. I absolutely love being here. I love this spot right here. I love different aspects of it too. The farm itself goes for about 2 miles along the Blue Ridge Parkway. So it's quite sizable. It's about 470 acres in total. I did sell a small portion of it last year, about 90 acres of it, to a gentleman whose name is J.R. There he is! Yeah, there he is.
Hey, Craig.
And J.R. should be telling you more about what he's going to do with his property there, which is really exciting as well.
Nice to meet you.
And he is going to be turning it into a recreational hiking center, and we're going to have closed loop trails on the 470 acres that we all are part of right now. It's very exciting what's happening in that regard. For those of you, who was here last year?
Anybody?
There's a few.
Okay, well last year all you saw were piles of posts and wire and things like that. So lots happened in the last 12 months. We put in about 12 acres of vines altogether, and we're trying to get through that first year cycle and discovering what lived and what didn't live right now. This is the highest altitude vineyard in the state of Virginia. Only certain grapes can grow here, and we have Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Gris, and Riesling. And you can walk through the fields. You're welcome to walk in the vineyards themselves. You this high and you think, boy, that's... We're going to be opening up a tasting room, so you must come back next year. We will be open then. It's out over that gorgeous view there. So we're really excited about that too. But they want to walk to the end of the diving board? Don't. Okay, please don't do that. Also, don't feed my dogs.
They're big enough, right?
They're big enough, but we're delighted that you're here, and it's really it's exciting. It looks like it's going to be nice. I'm not a weather forecaster, but it looks like it's going to be nice and cool for you.
Yeah, better running weather.
Which is great. And I'm going to be around, so if you want to ask some questions, then I invite you to do so.
And what's the vineyard called?
Oh, the vineyard is called, that's sort of interesting. Skylark is actually a trademark name by a vineyard in California, so we couldn't name it Skylark. I think JR is going to keep the name Skylark. But
I think you're right.
Yeah, but we came up with the one called 12 Ridges, and we're excited about it. And you know, depending upon where you're standing, you may see 12, you may see 8, you may see 14. I don't know.
I like that.
But we like the name, and that's what we'll be known as. So thank you all for coming. Great to have you.
JR, you want to say a couple words about what you're doing?
Come on.
A long story and wrapped up into 1 minute.
Sure. We got 1 minute. We got a storm coming. That's right.
Yes, we do.
Right.
Craig had a sign. We could see it from the Blue Ridge Parkway last December. Was driving by, and some friends had alerted me to it. They said, "What's happening to Skylark? He's selling the place, or he's developing the place. What's going on?" So, long story short, Craig and I reconnected, and I managed to actually talk him out of that parcel and the adjacent one to it. And we want to turn it into a nature plus hiking preserve. We laid out pretty much about a 10-kilometer loop around the 450, 500 acres.
Oh wow!
And actually, we want to link it up with an existing right-of-way on the other side of the parkway, so that you can take
The old carriage-looking road.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually that was the original mountain road.
Right, I remember.
And actually it was the original location of the Appalachian Trail before it was moved over. Eastern Ridge with the pre.
Right.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So next up we're going to do, here's the way things are going to flow. We're way out there going really fast, take a quick picture, and then we do something that's real important to all of us. We take the Uroc family photo. And that means everybody who's running comes up, gets on top of this, stand and climb on the arch. Don't pull the arch over, I don't care. And we take the family photo. So let's do the course briefing. This will be your opportunity to ask any questions about the course, logistics, that sort of thing. and Francesca will tell me everything that I missed, I can promise you. So everything starts at, they start together, correct?
6 a.m.
At 6 a.m. right here. Don't be late. We're not waiting on anybody. Okay, good.
25K start at 9.
Right, and then 25Kers start at 9, again here. Same place, we'll direct you out onto the 25K course. So that's where we are and what time we start. Tomorrow, what you want to follow before I talk about the course. Your life is going to be built around following orange surveyor flags. You're going to see them in your sleep tomorrow night. Orange surveyor flags. Everybody think about that. Other things you'll see, orange cones. You'll see those in your sleep. Along the trail, the last thing you'll see is orange chalk. It's water-soluble chalk, so it goes away in the next big rain, but luckily it hasn't rained too much yet. A lot of orange chalk, and when you see an arrow that has a point on one end and a point on the other end, that means you're going to be going in both directions eventually. Orange flags, orange cones, orange chalk. The other thing you'll see out there occasionally where it's really important is Francesca has put out signs that says, turn here, and it'll say, don't go here, and it has a big X like this. Our goal is, we believe you came to run a trail race, not an adventure race. It's our job to market well, so we take a lot of pride in it. So if you get lost, it's your fault. That's all I gotta say. All right.
The pink ribbon.
Right. Pink ribbons. Oh, one more. I'm sorry. Pink ribbons. Pink ribbons. They're real important. They mean don't go there. Don't even think about going over the pink ribbon. Don't jump over the pink ribbon. Don't pick up the pink ribbon. Just avoid going in that direction. Anything else?
That's it.
Good.
I think so.
Then, so most importantly, let me go through 50K, 100K. You want to pay attention now if you've been checking out. You're going to start here all together. You're going to head down by the vines, and very quickly,
100K are gonna go down the hill. 50K, you'll actually turn and head in that direction, and we'll have a person there to make sure that you're split.
Like that. Okay, so follow that. Follow those directions. 100K, stay with me. We're going to make our way out of the back of Skylark, meandering around this way, and we're going to hit a gravel road. Again, it's marked with orange flags. You're going to be on a gravel road going downhill, making your way. It's called Spy Run. That becomes Bradley Lane. Again, just so you know, in between, not a lot of flags. Know where to go. Don't go up in somebody's driveway, knock on the door, stay on the main road. But all the turns are heavily marked. That's going to take you over now to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Change in marking the Blue Ridge Parkway. So if you've been here before, listen up. All the turns are marked with flags and orange cones. But once we get you going the right direction, when you hit the Blue Ridge Parkway, you'll be 2.5 miles into the race. It's now 2 miles up to the aid station, no flags on the parkway, nowhere else to go. Something they like, and we finally kind of here too. So the turn's marked, run 2 miles, get to you see the next turn, which is actually now an aid station. So you get to the top.
2.5 miles on.
Right, so at that first aid station, I believe you're at about 4.5 miles into the race. Yeah, first aid station. So 100K, stay with me. This is the one everybody talks about when they sign up. It's probably the most beautiful trail, or one of the most beautiful trails on the course. But anybody that's done Leadville knows there are 13-mile sections of Leadville, 13.5. Now you have a big one. You're going to run 11.3 or 4 miles with no aid in between. Luckily, unlike last year, it was really, really warm. Tomorrow, what we're hearing is scattered thunderstorms throughout the day and about 20 degrees cooler. So honestly, for me, that's what I'd rather run in. So I think that's going to help everybody in that long section. But make sure you have at least 2 bottles, because you're going to be going up what we call the Dragon's Back. It's mainly downhill on the way out, but there are these steep pitches like this, and you're going to be power hiking those things, and it's a long ways down there. You'll get down to the bottom. Whetstone Ridge Trail. As you're heading down the first 3 miles, because it kind of meanders around, there's some turns, all marked with orange flag. After that, you stay on the trail. You won't see orange flags down to the aid station. Just so you know, it's marked in yellow. There are little signs. If you ever feel uncomfortable, you're still on the yellow trail. You'll actually get to one point and you'll know there's a forest sign that says 2 miles down the mountain, and it points you down to the mountain to the aid station, and that'll take you to your second aid station at the bottom of the Whetstone, or Whetstone South. Whetstone South, okay? Fuel up, all of that. You're going to retrace your steps all the way back up the Whetstone to the Blue Ridge Parkway, Bradley Spy Run. Then we have a new aid station set up here near the summit. There'll be a new station right over here called Skylark Aid Station at the summit. You'll come through there. At that point, you're at mile 30. You're more than you wanted to be in less than, but you got to go.
It's 30 on.
Yeah, 30 on. But you're now 36, 37 miles into the race. You're back up here at the top. You make your way through Skylark. It's all marked. You run through the pond. You run through the property. You run through JR's area, all of that. You make your way back, and now you're back onto the Blue Ridge Parkway. Again, same marking, nothing has changed. 50K runners, you can join the conversation. All right, so now we're out the back of Skylark. We make our way on the parkway. Everything's 2-mile segments on the parkway. 2 miles on the parkway, big turn onto Ball Mountain Jeep Road. There must be 50 flags, cones. Mark, you probably saw it when you came in. That's a Jeep Road. Now you're back on dirt. You'll go about 1.2 miles. You come to Camp Marty aid station. It's a big junction, big aid station.
It's also called Ball Mountain, sorry.
Ball Mountain aid station. Okay. You get there, you get to the aid station. Everybody, 50K, 100K runners, they'll give you the direction that you want to go, follow the flags. You go a quarter mile up, you make a hard left. Now you're on something called Torrey Ridge. This is a good one. Here in the east, for some reason, people, and we get into it, call them rock gardens. I just call it, really rocky, and I wish this would end pretty soon. But you're going to go through some rock gardens and Torrey Ridge, kind of downhill. Stay with me, everybody. 50K, 100K, listen. Francesca's going to explain the most critical turn on the course.
We'll actually have a person out there, so it'll be a little bit easier, but just in case they got eaten by a bear or something. You're on Torrey Ridge. You just left Camp Marty or Bald Mountain. They're the same. I'm sorry, I keep calling it Bald Mountain, Camp Marty. It's Bald Mountain. You just left Bald Mountain. You enter this really rocky trail. You're on that trail for about a mile. You're going to make a right down to the aid station. There are very clear signs that say go right. The intersection, I'm gonna let that go a second. So the trail comes straight down. You make a right toward the aid station. You do the falls loop. Very easy to follow. You're coming back to that intersection. This time going up the hill, 100K, 50K, make a right, 25K, make a left. Again, there are signs everywhere, and we'll have a person out there. But like I said.
So it's one of those situations where you have a T, and you get to that T going down, you make a right, and when you come back up to the top, you don't want to go left. You need to go right again, and it's all marked. So what we've had in the past, had a couple of people come back home too soon. You don't want to do that. So that's why it's weird. We've done everything we could to take a sandwich board up there and put it in the middle of the mountain. So you're there. So 50K, 100K people, you're now on Torrey Ridge. You're making your way along Torrey Ridge. That's basically a big rocky ridge line for about 5 miles. You get to the end, there's all of these flags. Now you're well into the 40-something mile range in the race. You're heading down the mountain 1 mile to Turkey Pen aid station.
Correct.
Change. So if you did run last year, this is a change. So listen up. Aid station is closer. As you cross a creek, the aid station is right there. So what happened is we had a reservoir that we used to access that's all just been demolished by some winter weather. There's no trail there basically. So what happens is we've added a crew access point. When you get to this aid station, you have an out and back, which from a competitive standpoint is kind of cool because you'll probably get an idea where people are, what's going on. I kind of like it. So aid station people are going to say you do 1.3 out. There'll be a big sandwich board there, turnaround sign. You can also have crew at that place. And there's a marker, right, at the turnaround sign.
Yep.
And just put your mark on your bib number. It's a special color. I won't tell you because you'll go out tonight and buy that color. And nobody nice. It's fuchsia, in case you're looking. No, I'm joking. Anyway, mark your bib number at the turnaround sign, go back to the aid station, and they send you up the mountain. Sure.
Is there a person at that turnaround?
There will be crew. There's not a person. There is a huge sandwich board that says turnaround.
And it says mark?
Yes.
I feel like I'm...
Right.
It says turn around and it says mark your bib.
It says mark your bib.
That big.
Exactly. So go to that sign. You'll be there in 10 minutes. Turn you around. Head back. Now you're at Turkey Pen. Last time, they're going to send you back up. Now you're really starting to head home. So stay with me. This is run along a section called Mills Creek. And it's last year it was really helpful because it was hot. But you're going to cross this creek many times. You can try to stay dry, but it's just not worth the time. It's wider in sections, shorter in sections, some rocks you can hop on. It meanders along the creek for about 4.5 miles, 5 miles, and then you get to this climb everybody talks about. I actually don't think it's the worst climb of the course, but it'll get your attention. It's 1 mile, and it's a bunch of switchbacks, and it's fairly steep. You'll be power hiking a lot and that sort of thing. It's tough because it's so late in the race. Now you're back up the top of the mountain. flag's taking you back to Ball Mountain Aid Station we call Camp Marty. From there, you're 4.5, 4.7 or so to the finish along the parkway, back through Skylark, coming through this gate and finishing here. So, most important, I told you how it's marked generally, gave you a rundown through the course. This will be the opportunity. 25K people, I'm sorry. Basically, you're running same way the 50K people went earlier. You're doing shorter distance. When you get to the top of the mountain, there's the thing that says 25K, go home, go home. They go that way. If you want to get more for your money, you can follow 100K people or something if you want. Before I talk about cutoffs, drop bags, all that stuff, anything else? Any questions on markings or logistics?
So if you're saying that if you're on a section that where there's no markings for a while, that's okay?
That's okay.
There's nowhere else. On the Whetstone Ridge Trail, you're literally on top of a ridge line. You can tell that you're on top of a ridge, and there's no other trail.
There's no side trails, right. And if there is, it's marked.
Okay.
There's never, you never have to guess, but you always want to continue straight. But the Blue Ridge Parkway, for example, they really didn't want a bunch of markings, so we're like, well, there's nowhere to go. So as long as the turns are marked, you should be good. And those are all 2-mile sections. Any other questions, markings? We good? Yeah.
For the crew, are the parking places marked?
Yeah, you'll be able to tell it's a crew place because there's a big tent there with a bunch of people with food on a table. Yeah, so just park near there, and they'll tell you where to park. Yeah, it's all really marked well. You're basically parking at a spot where runners are coming through, and there's a big tent. Yep. Any other questions? All right, couple things. Drop bags. Drop bags are due now, hopefully. We call it the lower U-Haul. Lower U-Haul has a bunch of signs on the side of it, and under those signs is where you want to put your drop bags. Do we mail you home your favorite pack of gel after the race? Do we? No. No, I promise you, we're not going to mail you anything. We'll donate it, but we're not mailing you. So don't ask. You're gonna look. I know I'm the only person that left my Garmin. Well, I might work with you if you send me $20 to mail your Garmin back. But other than that, we're not mailing you your drop bags. When are you gonna get them? You want me to go get them when you're done in 6 hours? You want me to go to the aid station and open for another 6? Not gonna go get it for you. You gotta wait here until it comes back. Rule of thumb: if you want to take it home, don't put it in your drop bag. Put stuff in your drop bag you want to eat and drink, or put it in your pack because I don't want to wait on my drop bag. So that favorite t-shirt, put it in your drop bag and run back here with it. All right? Drop bags. Cutoffs. We have some pretty strict rules about cutoffs because we've had some nightmare situations on cutoffs. Bottom line is, if you're over the cutoff, it's just over. I'm sorry. We live to race another day. We love you. We'll hug you and all that. Come back next year, all that. But don't ask, don't beg, don't tell me, you're going to pick it up and make up those 20 minutes because it ain't going to happen. Also, you're the one that's dropped. It's a bad day. I don't feel good. Mother's Day is coming up. I should never have come this weekend, whatever it is. And you call here and you say, where's Gil? Can he come get me? No, Gil's not going to come get you. You're going to have to wait until either this nice lady is going to be at the cruise spot. She'll get you. She might bring you back if you buy her dinner or a beer or wine next year or something. But we're not. But we will work with you. We'll try to find a crew person, or if I'm there, I'll bring you, but I'm not going to come get you. So when you send out the SOS that it's not your day and you're way out at Turkey Pen, you got to realize, and I promise you this happens every year, you could have finished before I come get you, and then you get a buckle versus you get chewed out by me in your car. All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, anything else? That was cutoff.
They can just wait. Cutoff, drop bags. They can drive to the drop bags location.
Yeah, that's a good point. If it is a crew access location, you finish the race, you're more than welcome to drive and pick up your drop bag. Okay. But once the aid station is closed and it's all online, they'll all be coming here and they'll be down there and they'll be laid out, and just find your drop bag later in the evening. All right, so last question, any last opportunities for questions, drop bags, crew, all that?
Thunderstorms or the weather? Thunderstorms or the weather?
Right, the last we've heard is probably whatever, you're Googling, the same thing. Last I heard was earlier this morning, because I haven't had a lot of access, a lot cooler. Today I think we hit 80 just down in the valley. I'm hearing low 60s for the high right here. That might mean 50 something on top of the mountain. Definitely going to be raining on and off from what I hear. Definitely there'll be some breaks in that rain. We talked earlier, Katie and I, a little bit about this. I personally, if it's going to be in the 50s, I wouldn't wear a lot. I just don't like to heat up. But if you want to have that extra jacket in a drop bag or something, if you're going to be out here late, you know, throw something in your bag. But it's definitely going to be wet on and off, but it's going to be a lot cooler, which I think makes for a better day for everybody. Sure.
Is it exposed? Are there any, like, is it all treed? Or, like, if the thunderstorms, are we worried that we're, like, out on an exposed ridge? Or is it all treed?
There's nothing really exposed. This is the only place.
Right, yeah. Okay, we're moving along so we don't get rained on. All right, next thing we want to do, if there's not any questions, is I'm going to bring up a few people. As I mentioned, you know, we work really hard to try to, you know, really make this race fun for everybody. And what really makes it fun for us too is see some, you know, people run some of their first races, last races, and run fast races. So we have a little bit of everything. The next thing we're going to do is those people that run pretty quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up our seated athletes. They get their bib number so they can go home. So I know y'all been waiting on their bib number. Stay up here when you get your bib number. We get a big group picture. After that, we're going to bring everybody up and join the whole group, get a big family photo, and then we can get out of here and go to bed unless there's any questions. So I'm going to start with the ladies, and if you're here, come up, get your bib number. I have Riley Bradley, F11. Woo! Come on up. Just give me that. Holly Buggan, F10. Holly. All right. Next, Kimberly Campbell, F. Congratulations. She's F7. So that's you. There you go. Ann Weiss, I know is not here right now. I don't believe. She's F6. F5 is Connie Gardner. I haven't seen Connie. Is Connie here? Nope, not here right now. Nobody knows? Okay. Jessica, you here? F4. There you are. Thought I saw you earlier. Congratulations. Aaron Job, I see you. F3. Aaron, going once. F2, Rachel Kelly. I know I see Rachel. Come on, don't be shy. I know what's happening. Nope. And Katie Arnold, F1. Come on up. There you go. All right, hang out for a minute. Hang on to those. On to the gentleman. M15 is Jason Kinsella. Jason, you around? Oh, there you are. There you go. Come on up. Join the lady. Taylor Maltz is M14. Taylor. Thank you. There you go. Get out of your way. Travis Simpson, the M13. Lucky number M13. Travis, there you go. Nicholas, you here? Did Nick make it? Nick DePiro? Nicholas? There he is. Thanks for making it up. There you go. Derek Clark, M11. Derek, there he is. Daniel Goldstein. There he is. Thought I saw him. And Ken, you're welcome. Luca, have no idea how to pronounce your last name. M9.
Yeah.
Now I'm sorry. Come on, Johnny Keaton. I should have let Francesca do that one. I'm sorry. Jordan. Jordan, why are you doing this, man? You say it. Come on.
Lafreniere.
There we go. Lafreniere. Thank you, guys. There we go. Greg Johnson. Greg, come on, be here, Greg. I'm here. Please, there he is. There you go. And 7. Luke Paulson. I think I saw Luke. Luke? There he is. Michael Bailey. See Mike. Michael Bailey, M5. M4, Coming back from next year, Corey Logston. Corey. On M2. There he is. Awesome. All right. And then returning champion Tyler Siegel. Come on. All right, we can do this. Ladies on the podium, just make your way up on top of the podium. There you go. I'm sorry. Rachel. She has. I think she has a good number. Yeah.
I'm not gonna stand on the. We have to stand on the podium.
Yeah. Well, you stand wherever you want. Man, somebody on the podium. Don't be scared.
There we go.
That's
It doesn't feel right.
I know we gotta get a picture. So. Yeah, just crawl
Everyone or
up
just
there.
women?
Yeah, go for it.
You
Yep, man around. There you go.
They're not.
All right. Plenty of room. Don't be shy.
Let's get a couple more over on that end.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah. Let's take a couple of you and yeah. Perfect. All right.
Bib numbers.
All right. Let me do one. Oops, sorry about that. Let me do one more. All right.
Can we get the one
Got
with
it?
the
Yeah,
raised
one more. We're
director?
going to jump. Francesca. Mind?
Thank
Real quick.
you.
We're going to jump up here with you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Yeah, you're good.
All right, just real quickly, I'm not going to do a big song and dance. I know we all, especially with the weather coming. Tyler, thank you for coming back. We have some, we love it when we have the people coming back. It means a lot to us. We have a little bit of everything represented here this year. It's really a great group of athletes. We thank you all so much for supporting us. Katie's here. She's our Leadville 100-mile champion. She's also a new author.
Yeah.
So check out. She's got her book here, her great things. You got anything you want to say?
Yeah,
real quick?
I'm signing copies of the book. If anyone, I've sold a few, and would love to sign you. I've got. You can use your credit card if you want.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, thank you. Stay where you are. All right, everybody who's running Uroc, distance 25K, we don't care. Come on up. We're going to get a picture. Just back around, get on the podium, push them out of the way. Family photo time.
Everybody. You get that picture.
Francesca. Francesca.
Yeah? I signed up for the 5K.
What do you need, Justin?
Everybody look over here. Fix the hair. Ready? All right, let me do one more. All right, look